And we are live. All right, so basically, before this, we're currently looking at ES futures S&P 500 weekly chart. The reason I came to the weekly chart is because the fact that we are gapping down, and the fact where we gap down to key levels is what stands out to me. So, I don't know where to start, to be honest. It's like very exciting. Let's go into monthly. This is a new month. So we have the monthly chart happening right now. I'm going to bring that up. A little doggy. There we go. Let's clean up this. Make everything so much clearer. There we go. This is your monthly chart. ES. I'm going to also go to SPY. Because SPY actually makes the most sense here. So give me a second. All right, perfect. So here we got ES. Let's get SPY here actually. Let's do a side by side, 2 by 2. Change this up a little bit. There we go. I'll do SPY. Gotta get that monthly showing. I was already bouncing. Got the yearly lines showing there too. Just a lot of intraday stuff right now. That's why you see the extensions oversaturated on the chart. Give you an idea. So far, we bounced somewhere around 278.29, if I'm correct, via futures. ES 20. Let's put this chart up real quick. This is futures. We have to remove subgraph. Here we go. Much better. Let's get a monthly going because I want to do a side-by-side chart. The reason I'm focusing on SPY right now because this is more important. A lot of URI is basically following SPY lately. So you want to keep that in mind. So we got to focus on the bigger picture here going into this month. So we got ES to your right. We got SPY to the left. Let's give you an idea. So basically, ES does each move before SPY does it. For those that don't know, ES basically shows us exactly what's going on, what's going to happen if we're going to gap up or gap down the next day. Well, Sunday night's going into Monday. Lets us know what's going to happen. Yeah, the next trading day. So here we're already at 278. What is that? 27.82.77, which is a key level, similar to 278.43 SPY here. So that's where I want to see SPY go before it actually vacuums right back up to the 30 and the 14. It's going to create a wick from here. Then we'll move to the weekly because I already know where the gap down is going to be. It's going to be one of those. I mean, if we trade futures, you're actually good. Futures, not features, sorry. An inverted hammer for a gap down here. And then go outside weekly to 292. We could even take a speculative 292 calls for Friday too upon opening, adding to the May 11 290s as well. I never get intimidated by red candles, especially weeklies. You can, I mean, if you look at the past weeklies previously, basically been inside, followed by a green candle the following week. I'm not saying this pattern is going to persist. It's going to be the same exact thing. But so far, we're holding our blue level 27.82.75 ES, and we got 278.43 for SPY going into this week. We have not vacuumed to the 30 SMH as of yet. This is actually a great thing. Needed a reset. Needed to add more fuel to the fire. And as you guys know, vacuums do work. You know, I'm not caring about what FinTwit says or anything like that. It's all about what I see and how we trade. and we trade specifically off of the 14 and 30, adding within addition to fib extensions and fib retracements. But when those line up with your 14 and 30, you have the perfect combo. It's just makes sense. So right now we went double inside of the past 2 weeks candle, which was here. This was a 413, this candle. We went inside the following week after that. This week we closed, previous week just closed inside this candle as well. So we're still inside. So we're double inside. Now the interesting part here is we're going to gap down and we'll probably go outside this weekly. And if we do go outside this weekly, I want to look at 300s for next Friday. Not this Friday coming up. 300s for next Friday to open. And we can even take 300s for 2 weeks out as well. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a pretty easy setup going into May. Once that 30 hits, that's going to be the telltale. We're going to end up inside there. Possibly we're going to be in 14 and 30 for the whole month of May. It's going to be a lot of up and downs until we break outside upward or downward, which is the 14 and 30 SMA. Right now we rejected it. So what happens in this case is we come back down, which here we're looking for a 278.29 to hold. If that does not hold, then we come back down to 267.25. And then we really make that move. But my thoughts is this week we get right back inside the 14 SMA. That's just how it works. I mean, you would have think they would have closed us inside of the 14 SMA. Them not doing that, but then you have another setup to where they close us inside the weekly, this weekly candle for 413. So that keeps me in the game. This makes me want to go long in the morning. And this is another thing over the weekend when I was stating that this is not a top. They did an inverted hammer here because they just needed to get the 14 and 30. This is how I think. I say they is no one. They is algos. They is algos. I'm not even gonna say they as in institutions, traders, retailers, all that extra crap. They as in algos. The algos, they get triggered. Each level has a trigger to it. It reacts a certain way. You bump up, you can't break that resistance, come right back down to support. See if the algos react to that support. Same thing, resistance, so on and so forth. This is how 14 and 30 work. By next week or 2 weeks out, you're targeting 300 because that 30 SMA is going to come down near 300 within the next 2 to 3 weeks. Will make the vacuum even more fun, much more violent. And from here, we gap down and we open up 278 and the target is 300. You can buy 4 weeks out, 300 calls. We have the June still. We buy those June 300s. I mean, they're going to gap down, probably lose half of their value by open. I was actually looking at them on my phone. Give me 1 second. I was looking at the premiums for them. So when they drop their value, it's June 19th, the 300s. The lowest they ever got on a double bottom with the premium chart was 55 cents. And I hit like $7. Now it's coming back. If it can lose 50 to 75% of its value tomorrow, that would be awesome. I would definitely take some size. Again, treat it like the 270s when we traded the 285s and the 282s for that month. We went pretty heavy with that. So now I'm going to get up and put URI here now. Why am I so bullish URI? I love the ranges for URI. I mean, was it pretty extended? Yes, it was. I do 2 side by sides. Let's link these. Actually, I don't want to link it. Hold on. Weekly. I gotta get the monthly also too. This is a monthly chart. Weekly on the left, monthly on the right. Let me get rid of this range here. Actually, we touched that. But you find patterns. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of this. Just want everything to look make sense. My target here was actually 117. A gap to 117. I'm definitely gonna add to my 130s for the week because premium is gonna be so cheap come Monday. I want to see us open up at the 14 SMA. I'm definitely a buyer here. I want to see us re-engulf here, possibly bring this 30 SMA down to about 130, 149. If they can bounce us off this 117.16 going into Monday, definitely the 120, 125s for Friday. Following week, 140s can work as well. I mean, actually, you could do 2 weeks out for the 140s, but purple bar is still the target. They got us close. They got us there very close. Got us to 30 SMA very close as well. Then pushed it down. So you got to pay attention to these things. Definitely an inside, gapping down inside this candle and then bouncing off of it, targeting basically last week's high. They'll probably break that. I mean, by 134.85 next Friday would also still be nice too. I actually want to check that. What would that be? 134. If this is, I feel like this is a shake and bake this week. That's what I'm feeling. This is a shake and bake. I feel like this week is going to surprise a lot of people, possibly myself too. But I just feel like over the weekend when I look at these charts, even though I say I shouldn't be doing it, but I have to, like, I can't help it. I see so much different things. So I want to see something with URI real quick. I was telling you guys for 134, 15-point move by this Friday. Even if I held and without even adding, even though I might lose some value tomorrow, I'm fine with that. May 8th, 134, 130 calls for this week. Would still close at 474. If we get that 134, even if we get that by Friday. Oops, wrong week. Thursday, sorry. Will be 532 by Thursday, depending on how this works. Depending on how violent the open is too. That's another thing. I feel like it's gonna be, open's just gonna go straight green, come back down, possibly be red, and then just take off. Last week, the only red day, last week, the red started, I think it was Wednesday. Started peeking out. It's our monthly. The key level for the monthly is 117.14. Now look where the monthly's at. We rejected the monthly 14 SMA 2 occasions, targeting 138.66 this month. So I will take the 140s end of month to open starting tomorrow, depending on where we are at. I can actually roll my 130s out and do that, just go all in with that. Or I can add to my 130s at open. I definitely want to see exactly if we can open 117.14. If we gap down tomorrow to 114, if we gap down, a nice gap down, I'm going to say like a 3.4 gap down, there's going to be a no volume. It's going to be a no volume gap down. So I'm going to put some bids in tomorrow for next week, this Friday, 130s, adding to those. Or maybe I'll just start a new position, keep those 130s because I have a significant size in those. For this week, we got Delhi. We got to look at the Delhi as well. This setup is perfect. That gap down would push the 30 and 14 SMA up, which is actually good. They close this gap here. There's another gap around here. It's not really a significant gap, but I would like to see a bounce somewhere off of 113, 130, or maybe 115. And then retrace back up to at least 119. Over 117.15 close Monday would be uber bullish. By Wednesday, we can definitely see 130, depending on how they're going to treat this. Don't trade too much this week. And by that, I mean, there's going to be something you can play. If you miss something, that's okay. Don't chase it. But if you feel like you missed something in a run-up, buy 2 weeks out. This way that if it's up 50% and you want to buy into it, buy 2 weeks out. Play the safe route. Stay away from lottos if you're new, please, too. My thoughts is they just want us to get this 14 SMA, retest that one more time, bounce off of it, and just take it back. Just take it to the purple bar. From there, take it over. and just keep bouncing and finding support off this 1430 SMA on the trend up. I want to see some long-term 117 support. Shows here on the monthly too. That's the key. And I love how they pushed it down Friday, right there. What I want to see is something like this, similar to here. This was July. For those that just got here, welcome. This is being recorded, so you don't have to worry. And you cannot ask any questions until I'm done. So look at this. Look at these. This is 14. This is a monthly. Gray bar, gray bar, gray bar, gray bar, gray bar. It's like a magnet. 14 SMA, gray bar, and 30 SMA. Magnets. Magnets. Here, very bullish. It's like we go down, red bar, come up, close, green bar, go inside, green bar, up, outside, and retest for this month. Like I said, I feel like May would be a some sideways action, and then we'll get that explosive move into the end of the month. June should be fun. I'm looking at I'm gonna look at some 160s for October. I haven't checked those for URI, but I feel like that's gonna be a nice trade upon opening. That's gonna be a nice long core trade. So if you want to get out of the 130s for this week, the 130 cores for this week, you can. For those that trade with stops, good luck. I'm sorry. I've noticed that a lot with a lot of traders is that they trade with stops and they got stopped out, and then the move happens after they got stopped out. You know, some traders that get stopped out, they won't revisit that trade. They'll just wait for the next one. Some will revisit that trade and take that chance. I don't really want to discuss BA. I mean, I don't care about the whole airlines BS over the weekend. We'll see what happens. I already told you my thoughts on BA. We have a video on that, so I don't really need to go over it much. My case is still bullish. I have 6 months within the core trade. Short-term trades I can really care much about. That's why I say we treat the short-term trades as a lotto. Why not? I mean, it's just key levels, orange bar. They gap it down, what, 124? I'm a buyer. I'm a buyer. And the fact that I love this trade, it reminds me of Shaq. You guys remember Shaq? That people, we were the only bullish ones, Shaq. We were bullish Shaq, and we were bullish BYND. Right? I'm gonna show you the Shaq trade. Where was it? That it had got explosive. I'm just giving you guys, I'm not trading Shaq. We're not trading Shaq right now. That's not my focus. But Shaq is one of the reasons, is one of those trades that it got crazy. Let's find it. Where did it go that it broke out? It was here. Before this whole thing happened. All right, so here it is. Just want to give you guys just a visual, my thoughts. This is what I'm seeing for BA. So we based out. There was a lot of fake out here. Y'all guys remember that. There was a lot of fake outs here. 1430 SMA. We was waiting for it to break. And then, voila. We got our breakout. And we advanced. Everything's building below 14 and 30 SMA. When prices build there's nothing but to continue getting long every time it retests the 1430. When it's overextended, or you can say hyperextended, that's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles until it topped out. So see how type of person I am as a trader is my mind's going like 24 out, like 100 miles an hour. Sorry. Like everything, my thoughts, I'm looking at 14. I'm looking at extensions. I'm looking at daily. I'm looking at monthly. I'm looking at highs, lows, ranges, and some days, like when I'm out of it is because those are not connecting together. And when they don't connect, something's definitely off. Like Tuesdays, notice that Why? I have no clue. Just things don't never line up on Tuesday. Tuesday's very confusing. And then after Wednesday comes, then we're more in tune. We're more in sync with it. Bear with me. I gotta find out where I put my freaking charger for the laptop before it dies. But yeah, I don't want you guys to overcomplicate anything. This is why I don't elaborate on certain plays. Weekly plays, a lot of you got crushed on weekly plays. Whose fault is that? Who takes the blame for that? Buy time. Look what happened with SPY. Buy time. Look what happened with this play, URI. Buy time. Look what happened with GS. Buy time. I remember people bought the 190s 2 weeks out when we had bought the 200s just to buy time. They didn't take much pain, but about 20% loss. Not even a loss, a 20% drawback. That's it. Drawdown, sorry. And then it advanced after that, and they were green. So as you can see here with these boxes, this is a daily chart. We're building 1430 SMA. We're building below that with BA. And BA is the only one that has not recovered like LMNT has. So this is another reason why I don't like to talk about BA. We had 6 months. Why are we talking about it? Okay, let's try to get the short-term trades. We scalp those. We do that. It's a scalp. It's a scalp. It's weeklies. We got the long-term. URI, we got weeklies now for this week. Now I'm going to do long-term too. We need this pullback. Pullbacks are always good. Red days are the best days because you get, it humbles you, it puts you in your place. And it's a good thing. It's always a good thing, red days. But what I want you guys for this week is to stay focused. Don't jump into something because I just jumped into it. Please don't do that. Oh, I definitely want to talk about Tesla. I got to talk about Tesla in this live. This Tesla has to get spoken about. Tesla has to get spoken about. I'm not speaking on C. C has paid. A lot of plays paid last week. Long-term plays where you could have got in for a re-entry or bought more time. They were up 200, 300%, 400%. Things like that. You had C go from what, a nickel? No, 6, maybe I think it was a nickel or 6 cents. Hit 50 cents within about 2 to 3 days. By Friday, then topped out. Then I had that pullback. Guys, focus this week. Let me clean this up. Sorry, I'm looking for my, what you call it. I don't want to make this live too long, like the recording too long, because I want to get into a conversation. Let's clear this up. Okay. Remember, guys, vacuums work everywhere. Got Tesla, gap fill. Got the 30 SMA right here. 6. I want to see that even get close to it. It can gap down Monday. I'm buying that gap down. Why not? I'm buying that gap down because I've seen what it's done in the past. Just so much. Look at Tesla filled the gap. It fills gaps. I like this trade. I like the setup. I like exactly how it looks. It looks clean. You can read it. It's easy to read. And I was saying this all week too. Like I could do an extension from here, from the lows from 316, double top here, pull back, 14 SMA hug, boom. Let's go. Pretty simple. Then with that being said, I put in a retracement inside this level just to see exactly what they're doing. Brings me down here. Now I'm going to remove this extension just to get a clear picture with the retracements. And this is what happens to the T. That hidden low, 682.32. I want to see it from a perspective on a H3 chart too. I like it. And closed inside here. It's going to be very good overall. Nice cup and handle. My target, retest last week's high. We get that gap down around 620, 617. I'll buy it up. cut our premiums in half. I'll double down. I like the risk reward here. You buy time. Me, I'll take the risk. I'll buy short term. Short term pays out the most, but don't take that and sit on that and focus on that. Focus on the long term. More time. More time you buy, less pain. And you can still be within the move, the week that it expires. By 2 weeks out, the move happens a week before you expire. Now you're just sitting on free money. And that allows you to trade weeklies. So I just want you guys focused. I did not talk about anything else. BA, I really don't want to talk about this week. I want you guys to stay focused. URI, that's our main focus, core-wise. SPY and ES, we got to watch those for this month. It's going to be pretty tricky this week. But if it's what I think it is, we're going to definitely retest last week's high. So remember what I told you guys, always buy the previous week's high in strikes 2 weeks out, just in case they want to go triple inside. We don't know what's to come, but I want you guys just focus. Don't overcomplicate anything.